What's going on, everybody? Almost Counts Collectibles here, and in today's video we're going to be going through and taking a look at some items that we recently picked up at a couple flea markets, two different ones to be exact, and I think it was two different game stores that we went into while we were out of town recently. Now, one game store we've been in before, everything else was a new thing that we had discovered, and we picked up some pretty cool items at some pretty decent prices. So let's go ahead and get just a little bit closer, and we'll take a look at this stuff one at a time. All right, so the first thing we're going to look at here is one of the original play sets for the Micro Machines. This was the City Van. Now, I actually had this when I was a kid. I remember getting it brand new. I remember playing with it. I always thought it was really cool. I really liked the Micro Machines. And now that one of my sons is kind of getting into the Micro Machines, I really wanted to pick one of these up for him. Now, to find one of these in really good shape with all of the pieces and everything to it, they can be pretty expensive. I think one complete, the cheapest I've seen anyway, was close to the $100 mark for one of these, and that might have even be kind of on the low end. But I found this one. It's in pretty good shape. It is not complete, but it did come with a few cars and stuff on the inside as well. And I got this for 20 bucks. So let's go ahead, we'll open this up, take a look inside, just so you guys can kind of see what it is. So it had a little carrying handle right here on top. You know, you could put all your Micro Machines in there and everything. It folds up and clips into place with these two clips right here. And you could kind of, you know, carry it around, take it wherever. Let me move this back just a little bit. All right, so what you would do is you would open up the top. Then you can pull the front down, the back down, and then you can put these sides down. Now, I'm gonna have to move the camera. This is pretty big. All right, so here we have the Micro Machines play set. So you have a little area down here. Let me move this a little bit. You've got a little garage and gas station, a car wash. You've got your drag racing racetrack over here. In the middle, you kind of got, you know, your police station. You got a bridge that you can go underneath. Over here, you've got like a mountainside. You can go underneath the mountain. Over there, we have the airport. In the back is kind of like the industrial or construction area. There's a little crane that goes on here. There's some helicopter pads. You know, you just kind of drive around the little city and go to different places and do different things. Now, this is missing pieces. It does come with a few pieces. We've got a little lift or bridge here. I don't remember exactly where this goes. It does come with the little crane and the tower piece here. This goes on top. Nope, that's not it. This goes on top of the little construction area warehouse back here. We've got a little pad right here. I think this might go in here. Maybe, nope, I don't think that's it. Was it on the edge of this? I don't know. This goes on the edge of something. But it also came with, I think, like 8 to 10 vehicles. And the little Micro Machine vehicles, especially if they're original ones, these can cost quite a bit of money. I'm not sure. I'm not versed exactly on which ones are the most expensive, but I know some of these individual vehicles can sell for 10, 20 bucks. If it's a super rare one, maybe 50 plus. Here's just some of the vehicles. I think there might be a few in here somewhere. But to get some vehicles and one of these in decent shape, like I said, it's not all there. And the little cardboard piece right here is a little ripped on the airport. But for the most part, the stuff functions and it's not all mangled up. The stickers aren't perfect, but for 20 bucks, just for him to be able to see it and kind of keep it as a collector's item, maybe we'll find the pieces as we go or upgrade to a better condition one eventually and just sell this one. But I thought it was pretty cool to finally find one of these in person for not a whole lot of money. So I got him the Micro Machines City Van Let me go ahead and close this back up. And there we go. So we picked that up, like I said, for 20 bucks. Let me move this out of the way. All right, now we're back a little bit closer. I got all three of these items from the same vendor for $5 a piece. So I had to get my youngest the Darth Vader Funko Pop. He likes to collect his Funko Pops, but he's in his Star Wars phase right now. So Vader was one of the ones that he doesn't have. So I picked this up for $5 for him to put in his collection. Now he usually opens his Funkos unless it's a really valuable one that I highly advise him to, you know, keep in the box and we keep in a protector. But for the most parts, he kind of just likes the cheaper ones that he can open up and play with just a little bit and kind of put on display on his shelf. So we did get Darth Vader there. I got a copy of Dragon Ball Z on Xbox 360. This one right here, I'm not sure exactly what this is worth, but we don't have this one. And it is, you know, the case that it's in is broken and the art is a little bit ripped, but the disc was actually in pretty good shape, and so was the instruction booklet. So I grabbed this for $5. I'm going to get a replacement case for it so we can add another Dragon Ball Z game to the collection. But I'll have to look it up and see what this one actually goes for in good condition. But like I said, this was just one of the games that we don't have that we wanted to add. So went ahead and grabbed that for $5. And then my oldest is collecting the Transformers Funko Pops. And they had the 2021 Summer Convention Limited Edition Shockwave for $5 in pretty good condition. So went ahead and snagged that for his collection. So like I said, got all three of these items for $5 a piece. All right, at a different booth, they had some sealed McDonald's toys. I think they had some Burger King and stuff like that too. But I'll go through here with some of the ones that we got for things that we collect. I actually found a sealed Tailspin Baloo's Seaplane. So I don't have any of these sealed. I finally got the whole collection and I have some extras, but I got a sealed one of those. For my oldest, we got a few of these, the sealed Charlie Brown ones. These are from 1989. So I think we have the whole set of these. Maybe we're missing Snoopy. I can't remember how many. There were 4. We might actually have them all. But they actually came with a decent amount of little accessories there, and he doesn't have any of those. So we got Charlie Brown's seed bag and tiller set there. So my wife really likes Recess. I think she probably watched this more than I did when we were kids. So we got, I think there's 4 or 5 of these, but this is Gretchen. So we got a sealed Gretchen toy in there. I found a Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. This is from 1989. This is Dale's Roto Roadster. And then we got Vince from Recess in there with the basketball. So I found from, what year is this from? It says on here somewhere. I can't remember what year exactly these came out. Now I have Luigi and Mario, but they had all of these sealed except for Mario. So I got Luigi sealed. Here's another Recess. This is Mikey. All right, here is Lucy's Apple Cart. So we got her sealed in there with her accessories. Here's another one of the Mario ones. So we've got the little Goomba. I don't know if this is from 89. It could be. I thought it had the year on here somewhere, but to find these sealed was pretty crazy for 50 cents a piece. So we got the Goomba. We got another recess here, school teacher. Another recess, Spinelli. Another Peanuts here. We got Linus's Milk Mover. These are actually really cool. So they had a BattleBots. This is from 2002, but I just thought it was really cool to see some BattleBots toys. I didn't even know that they had released BattleBots ones. I know this was really popular at one point, but I got a BattleBots robot. Here's another one of the Mario ones. This is the Koopa Paratroopa. And like I said, these were 50 cents a piece, and they had some really cool ones that we like. Then I got some sealed, the little Transformers. This is from 88, I think so. Yeah, 1988. I can't remember exactly how many total of these there were, but we got the little Hotcakes Transformer. We got one of the versions of the French fries. Another version of the French fries. We got the ice cream cone. And we got the, I don't know if this is a soda or a milkshake. The Crypto Cup. But we got those sealed in the original packages. So that was really cool. So those are all the McDonald's toys we got. Like I said, they were 50 cents a piece. I think I ended up paying, I don't remember, like 13 bucks. They gave me a few of them for free, I think. All right, moving on. All right here, as you can probably see, so I've actually been looking for one of these, and these can be kind of expensive. This is the entire Ginyu Force of the Funko set, the GameStop exclusive. I've seen this go for over $100 in good shape, sealed, which this one is, and I found someone selling this for $20. So finally picked up the 5-pack for 20 bucks of the Dragon Ball Z entire Ginyu Force. All right, let's go ahead and go through this bag. All right, this was from a separate place, but there are some goodies in here. So first and foremost, I got a giant bag of Taco Bell toys. I think all these are Taco Bell. There's a few ones in here, I think, that aren't a part of the set, but these are the original Taco Bell toys from the Nintendo 64 line. Now, I have really wanted to get my hands on these. I remember eating in Taco Bell as a kid and getting these. I got one of the Nintendo 64 controllers, and for the longest time, I've really wanted to go back and collect all of these and display them in my display case right here under the TV, because I have very fond memories of a few of these toys. I absolutely love the Nintendo 64. And at one point, I almost spent like 50 bucks on a set of these, and it wasn't even complete. I think it was missing one of them. Well, I got this entire bag of Taco Bell toys for $3. And I think it's only missing one of the toys. There's multiples in here of each. It's even got every different version of the controller. I think there's 3 different colors. But I think it's missing the Yoshi figure, which I can track down later, but 3 bucks. Let's go ahead and open this up. And we'll just take a look at these real quick. So here is the red controller. So you control it with the joystick. It moves the little platform, and you kind of have to guide the little ball through the maze. So like I said, there's 3 different versions of this. So this is the red N64 controller maze. Then we have another little maze ball here of Super Mario 64 characters. So you pretty much do the same thing. You guide the ball through the mazes. All right, then we have the yellow controller, which is the same thing. Everything's the same except for the color on these. We have a Star Fox 64 one. So this, I think, I don't think this one works. I think it like popped the ball up inside here maybe, and you had to get it in that hole, and there's like a mirror up there. I don't think this one's working, because I thought, this is from 1997, by the way, if you guys can see that. But I don't think this one works. I think there's another one in here, but that's what I think it did. All right, so then we have one of the green controllers. This one looks a little dusty and dirty. Oh, I actually don't think this one's working. Oh, maybe it's just because oh, there we go. The ball was just kind of holding it up. So this one needs cleaned up just a little bit, but it's got all three of those. Then we've got the Donkey Kong one. So Kong just kind of, you have to like turn him to guide him through the maze up and down this tree. And here's a sealed one of the Kong tree. That's really cool. It looks like we have another sealed one. And then we have another open one. And I see the base down in here. Then we have this. What is this? Looks like some kind of Timon and Pumbaa. It's a compass. Oh, this is a Burger King Kids Club. And then we got a couple more Star Foxes. Does this one not work either? I thought I remembered these things doing something. Are they all broken? So I see the balls right there. I don't know, maybe I can take these apart and see what's going on. It's kind of weird that all of these wouldn't work. Yeah, so it looks like they've got two balls in there that you were supposed to launch up in there. But anyways, we got three of the Star Foxes. And there's the base to the other Donkey Kong thing. So, I pretty much completed the whole collection of those for $3. So let's go ahead and see what else we got in here. Let me move this aside. Oh, these are cool. So I found some Overpower game card, the Marvel card decks. Now I did pay 20 bucks. There's 2 bags. Each bag has 2 decks in it. These are from the 90s. And I love to collect those Marvel trading cards. So I did go ahead and dish out the 20 bucks for each one of these bags. They're supposed to be complete decks. They come with 55 cards apiece. So I got Beast and Thing. And then I got Carnage. And let's see, what are the names of these? Sworn to Protect and Lethal Allies. And Heroes Assemble and Clobber in Time are the names of the actual decks. So we got all 4 of those. Like I said, these were 40 bucks. They were 10 bucks a deck pretty much, but I went ahead and dished it out because I don't see those very often. Got a copy of Home Alone, the 3 film collection on DVD, in good shape. This was a couple bucks. Picked that up because my kids absolutely love these movies. I got a copy of Signs on VHS in really good shape. Now, this right here, it's one of, I love M. Night Shyamalan's movies. Now, he's got a couple that weren't that great, but for the most part, the stories and everything in a lot of his movies, I just really like. I really liked the Signs movie. We just recently went back and rewatched it. It's kind of one of those seasonal things around Halloween I like to go back and watch, but absolutely love this movie. So finally picked up that on VHS. I got one of the DuckTales little figures for $1. I think this was like a cereal toy back in the day. I found, I think this ended up being $1, but I got a Legend of Zelda Happy Meal toy. This was from Link's Awakening. Thought that was pretty cool. This was from Burger King. What else? What else? Oh, I found another piece to the Inspector Gadget Build-A-Toy. I happened to get one of his arms in a different, like little lot of stuff from a flea market. And then I came across this one. They were $1 a piece, and they had his other arm. So I went ahead and grabbed that. Maybe one day I'll actually complete this. Not necessarily looking for this. I mean, I can buy it complete. Complete in good shape. I mean, I think it sells for about 50 bucks or more. But it's just really cool to try and find the pieces one at a time in good shape and actually build it myself. So I now have both arms of Inspector Gadget. Found some of the little golden books. So I got a Tailspin one, a DuckTales, The Hunt for the Giant Pearl, and another DuckTales, The Secret City Under the Sea. These are from the 90s, I believe. Let's see here. Where's 1988? Right there you can see on this one. And I think the Tailspin one is more of, yeah, this is from 91. It's just a little bit more recent. But these little golden books are pretty cool. All right, what other goodies? I got a bag of stuff here. All right, so found a few cassettes. I got Mary Kate and Ashley. What is this? Sleepover Party for my wife. I got Snoopy's Christmas for my oldest's Peanuts collection. And then I got this pretty cool lenticular cover of Casper: A Spirited Beginning, the soundtrack. So you don't see cassette tapes very often, so when I see them of things we actually like to collect and stuff like that, or listen to, pretty cool. So picked these up. I actually think I paid at least a couple bucks a piece for each one of these. And then, all right, so I found this in a bin of dinosaur toys. I think I paid like $4 for this. And it really caught my eye. At first, it looked really familiar, but I couldn't figure out what I knew this dinosaur from. And come to find out, this is a character from Primal Rage, the video game. I got this for $4. He's in good shape. He comes with his tail. So I thought that was a really, really cool pickup. I mean, I was racking my brain trying to figure out why this looked so familiar. And then I finally looked it up on the way home, and sure enough, it is a Primal Rage video game character. So snagged that for the collection. Got a couple of Simpsons figures for I think $4 or $5 a piece. Here's Police Marge. She does come with accessories in there, so thought that was cool to add to the Simpsons collection. And then they had another Simpsons figure. We got Vampire Grandpa here with a little base that kind of spins around. And then I got this really old, very heavy, paid $5 for this. This is from like 1958. Well, what's the most recent date on there? Might be early 60s, mid 60s. But a little Snoopy metal car. So I snagged that for my oldest. It is really heavy. Thought that was a really cool little piece. All right, and that was it from there. All right, getting down to our last couple of items. So let me go ahead and move you guys up just a little bit. All right, got me another Simpsons item here. This is the Consumer Guide to Simpson Mania. Picked this up for $1. This is from the 90s, I believe. It's just got some cool Simpsons facts and stuff like that in it. I haven't really read through the whole thing. Profiles, clothing, reviews, merchandise, trivia, etc. From 1990. So this is from 1990, and I just thought it was a really cool pickup to add to the collection. It's in really good shape. All right, this right here. So in one of my most recent videos, I found a little Pacha, like McDonald's or Burger King's toy. And I thought it was amazing. I'd never really realized they made like Happy Meal toys of the Emperor's New Groove, although I don't know why. That I kind of never thought of that. Almost every Disney movie gets some kind of fast food restaurant toy line. But somebody had the display for the Emperor's New Groove in really good shape that comes with all of the toys displayed inside. And I got this for 20 bucks, and it is in really good condition. It is a McDonald's item. So I'm gonna go ahead and carefully open this up. It's got little Velcro pieces on the back. I do not want to tear up these doors. All right, there we go. There is all 6 of the toys that you can collect in these little doors that open up. We got Pacha down here in the bottom right. We got the Emperor, Kronk, Yzma as the cat, the Emperor up there at the top as the llama being chased by the jaguars. I mean, just really, really cool. So I finally have all the toys, and it was the little cart thing that Pacha, the one I have, was missing down there at the bottom. But I just thought this was a really awesome display piece. So had to snag that for the Emperor's collection. All right, so from one of the stores, I got a VHS copy of Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, Undercover Critters. I've been in the store before. They always have some really cool stuff, and these are 50 cents a piece. The box isn't in the best shape, but still a cool little item to add to the collection. Got another copy of Recess, School's Out. This was in really good shape. The bigger boxed VHSs are usually about $1. But once again, in really good condition. We already have one of these, and I wasn't sure if this one was in better shape than ours, so I snagged it for my wife's collection. And then I got DuckTales Treasure of the Lost Lamp. Now, I actually already have this, but mine actually ended up being a little bit moldy, the VHS tape. So picked this one up because it was in really good shape, and the tape is actually in good shape. So finally got a copy of this for the collection that's in good condition. All right, I think all of this came from the other store. So finally snagged a copy of the Iron Giant on DVD. This was $3.99. This, especially like the Steelbook release that came out of this, it's like $100. But I don't have this. This is one of my more favorite, older animated movies. So picked up the special edition of the Iron Giant there on DVD finally, because I don't have it. Grabbed a couple of Xbox games. Got another copy of Battlefront 2 for $4.99, because for some reason ours... It kind of freezes up sometimes, sometimes to the point where you have to restart the game. I don't know if it's because we've been playing it on Xbox 360 and it's one of those games that just didn't, port over well or whatever. But I picked up another copy of this just in case there is something wrong with our discs. And then I got this Nickelodeon Party Blast for $5. Looked pretty interesting. I mainly got it for my wife's Nickelodeon collection, but we might actually put it in and play. It looks like a little party game. I've never really heard of it before. It's probably not that great, but we'll go ahead and try that out. But both of them were in good shape, and they both came with their instruction manuals and everything. So for $5 a piece, picked up a couple Xbox games we didn't have. I got the Emperor's New Groove, the CD-ROM action game, for $5 as well. It was in good shape. And I've just been coming across some Emperor's New Groove stuff recently. I don't normally see it. So I'm just adding that to the collection. Like I said, my favorite Disney movie of all time, if you've seen the channel before. And then there's a couple more smaller games in there. But I did find some strategy guides. Now, when I find strategy guides for games that I actually like, older games, I'll try to pick them up. This one's got a few rips. It's got a tiny rip here at the bottom, but for the most part, it's in good shape. So this is Spider-Man 2 for PlayStation 2. An amazing game. Picked this up. I think I ended up getting this for $2 even, is what he gave it to me for, because it was ripped. But this right here, I got an Ocarina of Time strategy guide. Now, the Ocarina of Time is one of those strategy guides where I've seen a few times before, but people always want 50, 60 bucks for it. This one's in really good condition. It's not perfect, but it's in really good shape, and he gave this to me for 20 bucks. So finally got the strategy guide to my favorite game of all time for the strategy guide collection for $20 in good shape. So I was really pumped to find that. And then the last couple items are a few Game Boy games. We got, once again, the Emperor's New Groove. I did pay the full $7 for this one. And then I picked up another Rugrats because I couldn't remember if my wife had this one or not. I think she actually does, but I only paid $3 for it. So I got a couple of Game Boy games. All right, guys, that is it. Let me throw everything back here real quick, and we'll take one last look at all the stuff we just picked up. All right, so got everything back in here the best I could. There's a lot of stuff here. But we got the Micro Machines playset van. We got the sealed 5-pack of the Ginyu Force, the Funko set back there. We got that awesome Emperor's New Groove McDonald's display with all the toys in it. We got some Funko Pops over here. We got the Marvel overpowered card decks right over here to the right. We got those cool Nintendo 64 Taco Bell toys, almost the whole set. We got some cassette tapes right there. The Emperor's New Groove CD-ROM. Dragon Ball Z on Xbox 360. We got the little golden border books right here. We got the couple Game Boy games to include the Emperor's New Groove right here in the front. Chippendale Rescue Rangers VHS, the Signs VHS, DuckTales, Recess. We also got some Xbox games and the Iron Giant on DVD, which that's our first copy of that. Finally got the Zelda strategy guide for Ocarina of Time and Spider-Man 2. We got the other McDonald's toys in the bag. I wasn't going to dump all those back out. Some more little figures. We got some Simpsons figures. We got the Primal Rage video game character, the Legend of Zelda Burger King toy. And yeah, guys, that's just the stuff on our most recent pickup. Some really cool finds. Think we got a really good deal on just about all of this stuff. So let me know what you guys think of this haul. And until next time, everybody, I will see you next video.